Hello, friends. There is a wonderful young lady on our set who makes these drinks for me, and she has the most sparkly nails you've ever seen. They're quite remarkable. I just wish that she would not get so many sparkles in my drinks. It looks like somebody has stolen my olive today. Was it you, Buster? Today, operating the camera, we have Buster. Buster has the biggest brown eyes I have ever seen. A little bloodshot, but they're nice. They're Buster Browns. Remember those shoes? Buster Browns and a little dog. Tied. Hey, Buster. Ruff. Well, before we start, we have some communications to us from some of our viewers. These are always welcome. This first one is written by I'm Alone from Blue Ball, PA. I imagine many people in Blue Ball feel that way. Ima writes, Dear Mr. Phlaccidpecker, today in school, our teacher told us that mankind evolved from a primitive ancestor similar to monkeys. Is this true? No, Ima, it is not true. All you have to do is see Congress in action, and it is clear that those baboons have not evolved at all. We have another communication. This one comes to us from Ben Dover, a viewer in Accident, Maryland. I can't help wonder if that in some way has something to do with how he was conceived. Ben writes, I was wondering about your first name, Holden, and was wondering if you were named after the character in the book Catch Her in the Rye. Oh, Catch Her in the Rye. He wrote two words, Catch Her. Sort of changes the whole meaning of the book. Also, what does your initial A stand for? Well then, actually I'm asked this rather frequently, and no, I was not named after the character Catcher in the Rye. Holden is a surname of one of my ancestors. Several generations ago, a great-grandmother had a son. She wanted to honor her father by naming him, but her father's name was Achilles Holden, and she did not want to name her child Achilles because she did not want him to be called a heel. And it must have worked because we've never been called heels. So instead, she gave him as a first name her father's surname, Holden, and just put the initial A in the middle. So the A really stands for anything at this point. But that was my grandfather, and he was the first one in our family to be holding a Phlaccidpecker. And then he had a son. He's had several sons, daughters, but his first son he named after himself, and so my father became the second one in our family to be holding a Phlaccidpecker. And interestingly enough, my father is one of 11 children. My grandfather was one of 13 children. And it is amazing how many children the Phlaccidpeckers have. I am obviously named after my father, and so I am the third one in my family to be holding a Phlaccidpecker. And I will wet my whistle, and we will get to today's poem. She loves me. She seems to be made of plastic. I suppose that's okay if you have an inflatable girlfriend, or perhaps are dating somebody from Hollywood. So I will give us a cue, and we shall start the poem. Which is called Spring. The dark days of winter are now finally gone. Spring has arrived with the need to start mowing the lawn. No sneeze to be heard from the flu, its season is now gone. Now we can sneeze from the allergies spring has brought on. Bees fly about, flower to flower they pollinate. That's as close as any daisy ever gets to a real date. It's such a pity, really. Can you imagine? It's good for the bees though. So a glass we raise to spring, and here's the reason why. It's as good as any reason, so why not give it a try? Here's to you, spring.